Why do only 5 countries in the world hold the power to stop the United Nations in its tracks? At the heart of the UN sits the Security Council, 15 nations, charged with keeping the peace of the whole planet. 10 of them are elected, rotating in and out every 2 years. But 5 never leave. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, China, and Russia. These 5 are permanent, and each of them holds a veto. A single no from any one of them kills any resolution outright, no matter how many of the other 14 vote yes. One hand raised against the world and the most powerful body in global politics simply stops. So how did 5 countries end up with a permanent grip on the peace of everyone else? The answer is not really about fairness. It is about 1945 and the deal that built the world we still live in. Rewind to the end of the Second World War. The old system for keeping peace, the League of Nations, lay in ruins. It had a fatal flaw. It was toothless, and the great powers never truly committed to it. The United States, whose own president had championed it, never even joined. When aggression came in the 1930s, the League could only watch. Its failure ended in the deadliest war in human history, and the men rebuilding the world were determined not to repeat it. The American president, Franklin Roosevelt, had an idea he called the Four Policemen. The world, he argued, could not be run like a debating club of 100 equal voices. Peace would have to be enforced, and only the strongest nations could enforce it. So the great victors of the war, the United States, Britain, the Soviet Union, and China, would act as the world's policemen. France was added soon after, at Britain's insistence, to anchor a strong Western Europe. 5 powers, the winners of the war, would hold the keys. But those powers wanted more than a seat. They wanted a guarantee that the new organization could never be turned against them. And so, across a series of wartime conferences, Dumbarton Oaks, then Yalta, then the Great Gathering in San Francisco in the spring of 1945, they built the veto directly into the rules. When the charter was signed on the 26th of June 1945, that power was written into Article 27, and it was non-negotiable. The message from the great powers was blunt. It was the charter with the veto, or no charter at all, because they remembered the League. Without the veto, the American Senate would never have ratified the treaty, and the Soviets would have walked away. The veto was the price of keeping the strongest nations inside the tent. A United Nations with the great powers in it, and imperfect, was judged far better than a perfect one they ignored. So, how does it actually work? For any major decision, the Council needs 9 of its 15 votes, and not a single no from any of the 5 permanent members. But there is a subtlety that many people get wrong. An abstention is not a veto. If a permanent member simply steps back and does not vote, the resolution can still pass. Only an active no carries the killing power. That quiet rule, settled by practice since 1946 and confirmed by the World Court in 1971, has kept the Council working far more often than the veto has frozen it, and it has been used a great deal. Since 1945, the veto has been cast more than 280 times. In the early Cold War, the Soviet Union wielded it so relentlessly, its ambassador earned the nickname Mr. No. In later decades, the United States became the most frequent user, most often to shield a single ally. The seats themselves can even change hands. In 1971, the United Nations voted to hand China's permanent seat from the government in Taiwan to the People's Republic in Beijing, which raises the obvious question: if the veto causes such deadlock, why not simply reform it? Many have tried. Nations from Brazil to India to South Africa have pressed for new permanent seats. Africa, home to more than 1 billion people, still has none. But every path to change runs into the same wall. To amend the charter, you need the agreement of all 5 permanent members. The veto guards itself. The 5 hold a veto over any attempt to weaken their veto. And so we are left with the paradox at the center of the whole system. The body meant to protect the world can be frozen by its most powerful members. Time and again, against overwhelming majorities, a single hand has stopped the world from acting. Yet the veto is also the reason the great powers stay in the room at all, arguing, blocking, but present rather than walking away as they did from the League. It is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. So, only 5 was never an accident and never really about justice. It was the deliberate self-locking price the world agreed to pay in 1945 to keep its most dangerous members inside one tent and talking. This was the story of the United Nations veto, told the Sankofa way. Go back and get it. If it moved you, tell us in the comments whose story we should tell next. Until then, stay upright.